If you're taking your dogs to the beach anytime soon, there is one item you absolutely should be bringing if your dog likes to swim in the water. This is a lesson I learned the very hard way. The last time I took my dogs to the beach, we were in the ocean more than we had been when they were younger puppies, and I had to learn the hard way that when you have a dog that likes to go swimming in the ocean, or even if you're just playing in the sand, you will have certain parts of their harnesses, their leashes, your hands-free leash, anything that's going to be connected to you with a clip that is going to be potentially problematic for you while you're traveling. So my dogs have these harnesses, they have leashes, I have a hands-free leash system, and so I had a lot of things connected from the belt around me for the hands-free part to the leashes that connected to their harnesses. And when you go in the salt water or when they get dragged through sand, they are going to get jammed up. They're going to get stopped up a lot. It might kind of rust on the inside. It could just be the grains of salt or sand kind of jamming things, but it can be really hard to get those pieces undone and unclipped, especially if you have just been in the water. I would love to say that if you take care of them quickly, it'll be fine, but that's not the case because I made sure I dried things off, I cleaned things off, I washed them, I removed all the sand, and it still got jammed up for me because there was stuff inside of those springs. So the thing that I am now forevermore always going to be taking with me when I am traveling with my dogs is a pair of pliers, because I'm a lot stronger than I look. I'm a lot stronger than a lot of women, and I could not get that removed. I could not open some of the clips. Sometimes it was incredibly hard, but I was able to do it. Sometimes I got a little bit of help. Sometimes a couple of us had to work on it sometimes. But when I got home, I had one piece that was just completely jammed. I could not get the thing removed. I had to leave it on for the last like 2 or 3 days of my trip and just kind of work around it and adapt to it. When I got home, I grabbed a pair of pliers and I was able to unjam it. I just had to grab, instead of the part where your thumb is supposed to move it, the actual prong, and I could pull that back, and I removed that from the leash so that I could disconnect the leashes from the hands-free part of the leash and the harnesses, and I was okay. And then I had to throw away that specific clip that I had because it no longer worked. I wasn't going to be able to save that, and I'm going to have to replace that. So from now on, as I'm traveling, whether or not it's the beach, I will be taking at least one pair of pliers with me in case any of the hardware on our gear jams up. Because let me tell you, it was frustrating. It was a little bit on the scary side. I didn't know how I was going to function during parts of these things, and miraculously I was able to fix some of them, but it was a lot of stress that I didn't need while I was at the beach. So from now on, I will always, always, always be carrying at least one pair of pliers so that I can work with the hardware if anything happens, if it jams, if it gets stopped up, if there's any kind of problems with salt, water, or sand, or weather, or a little bits of gravel or dirt if you're like on a mountain or something. If anything gets jammed into their hardware, I will be able to fix it or have a much better chance at fixing it than if I was just trying to do it with my hands alone. And again, I learned the hard way, so from now on, it's going to be the top of my list. I have a list on my phone of things to take to the beach next time we go. Every time I learn about something new or I realize if I had just brought this one thing with me, it would have been a lot easier. I add it to the list so that I don't forget. That's at the top. I went to the top of the list. That will always be the first thing that I am packing when I am traveling with my dogs from now on. Follow along for more tips and tricks on how you can make your life a little bit easier while you're traveling with your dogs. We have a full playlist helping you to navigate how to drive in the car with your dog and help them overcome any fears or like long car rides. We talk about how to pick really good dog-friendly and dog-accommodating locations to stay. We've even got some reviews on different hotels and locations that you can stay at. We talk about tips and tricks for leveling up how you spend your time at the beach or doing different activities while you're out and about with your dog and giving you the best life possible with your pup with the least amount of stress. So I'll link those down below, and we'll see you in tomorrow's episode.